There you are. What's happening?
What's going on?
You tell me. What do we got going on this weekend?
Oh man.
And the
I was
weekend
just
after that, and the weekend after that.
and the weekend after that, and the weekend after that. Well, I have my first combine that's happening this weekend. We're gonna be doing it at the Morgan Hill Sports Complex. You can register on our IG. There's a link there, and then we got the Top Dog next
Top
weekend.
Dog 2.
Top Dog 2, and then I have another combine the weekend after that. Then I'm gonna give myself a break, and then I'm gonna do another combine after that.
Nice. Hey, so I mean, I know a lot of people have been asking, like, what are these things, and what is it for, and why are we doing it, and all that stuff.
So one of the big things, like, for a lot of football players that are, trying to, move to the next level, some of the things, like, there's specific intangibles that, like, coaches are looking for. And everyone knows, like, the number one thing that a lot of people know about is the 40-yard dash, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know, like, oh, how fast is your 40? It's unfortunate that at, like, every level that, like, you live and die by the 40. However, you can make yourself up in, like, some of the other drills too. Like, the 5-10-5 is huge. The L drill shows, like, a lot of athleticism, and everything is measurable. It also, from those measurables, these coaches can see, like, are these kids, like, training in the off season? Are they taking this seriously? Like, what can they do to be better? Plus, you can also look at these results, compare it to, other athletes, like, in your local area, then go state, and then go broader from there, and actually see where you stack up. Whether you have half a star or 5 stars, you can see where you are, like,
Or no
and what's,
star.
or no star. I was trying to make a reference to the longest yard, didn't work. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can have someone who has 0 stars and they test really well, and you get compared to, like, a 5-star athlete, and then all of a sudden a coach sees that from a college, that'll get their attention. It's just giving these athletes a better opportunity, and, more opportunity to, like, kind of live out their dream and try to play at the next level.
So I'm glad I caught you here. I don't want to keep you for too long because I know you're a busy guy. By the way, everybody, he owns his own gym, and I've been there, and it's pretty sick. So if you're in the Gilroy, I mean, South San Jose area, definitely check him out. We'll post the address and all your, so I mean, you're a pretty well known guy. But take a couple of minutes and talk about your background, high school you went to, without going into, like, super detail. I just want to get, your background out there to the people that are watching this.
Yeah, so I graduated from Archbishop Mitty, class of 2007. Played football, I wrestled and ran track. Um, Played 1 year football at Deanza College. Ended up running track there, and then continued my track career at Notre Dame, Dame University, when they still had a track program, and cross country. So I ran cross country and track there. And then after college, I fell into Olympic weightlifting. I was coaching track and field at that time as well. And then I moved out here. I was working corporate wellness, and then worked at a couple, like, health and wellness startups, and then took a chance, opened my gym. I've been coaching Olympic weightlifting. I've been helping the local high schools out here with their strength and conditioning programs for football. And it's kind of all she wrote. I'm actually doing strength and conditioning over at Gav Community College. The women's basketball team is back, first time in 3 years. So
Nice.
that keep an eye on that one. So I'll be helping out that program get back. So that's kind of just what I've been doing so far.
So that I kind of, this is not intended to be like a college and career kind of a talk, but I noticed that there's 3 things that you mentioned right there that really stood out. Number one, you took a chance to start your business. And then the other one is, like, you just remained in the whole athletic fitness kind of a arena throughout the entire journey of your post high school and college. What was that the secret? Is that the secret to, like,
It is the secret. If there's one thing that you can share with every student athlete, and what every student athlete kind of understands, is that like when it's good, yeah, it's good. When it's bad. But the true test of your character and of yourself is if you can sit through both. So, I was able to sit through that as an athlete and as a coach, sit through these, like, all those times going up and down. And now as a business owner, being able to sit through the ups and downs, it just tells you like what kind of person you can be. And those are the ones that thrive. So if at any point you feel like you start doubting yourself, find that and then use it, because you'll just springboard like super high after that.
Yeah, amen to that. I think summer is the time of the year where you got the guys transitioning from the high school level to the next level, or the college folks, transitioning from not playing the sport anymore to
Hmm.
whatever they studied. And so, I mean, I'm kind of like you, because I love sports, and I stayed in the sports world by doing what I'm doing.
Hmm.
And it's really rewarding looking back to, like, when you look back, it's like, wow, I'm still doing it. Not as an
Yeah.
athlete,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
you're a professional, I'm a professional, and I think that's pretty cool. And now we're helping young people. So, but yeah, man, I think this is cool. I would love to do this on a regular basis, pick your brain apart, and kind of
Mhm.
like, talk about the things that you're doing. I know you guys went to Vegas recently and competed. Um, can you expand a little bit on that? I think it's a really interesting and really cool thing that you guys are doing over there.
Yeah, so we went out to Vegas for USA Weightlifting Nationals. It's actually it's very competitive, and surprisingly for a lot of the kids that watch Get Sports Focus, there's a ton of kids that compete at this. There's about 3 4 days that are dedicated just to kids under the age of 18, and
Wow,
a good
really?
majority, yeah, and a good majority of these, like especially on the men's side, a good majority of these Olympic weightlifters who are nationally ranked are football players. They're all multi-sport athletes. So if
Okay.
that doesn't say anything to you guys there, like you there is another avenue to kind of do it. And the cool thing is some of these coaches that coach these athletes, they're strength and conditioning coaches at some top tier programs. Like in the
Huh.
country, they help out. They're the strength conditioning coaches for football teams at their colleges. So, you get to rub elbows with these people, and they get to see you compete in something completely different. So a lot of these like multi-sport athletes, there, I think two national champions are also football players in their respective states, and
Wow.
they're all state football players too. So that just kind of tells you right there like what kind of athletic mentality they got. So our team, like we finished pretty well. All of our lifters here from my gym, they're all nationally ranked in their respective weight class and age division. So it's something that's like, if you want to find another sport, like it's a really good avenue. It actually does help with whatever sport that you play. Olympic weightlifting is very good for like good strength and conditioning, really good strength building, a lot of like how to like get in tune with your body and get ready for your season. But it also keeps the competitive juices going.
Yeah.
Like that's the big one.
Honestly, the reason why I think 7-on-7 is popular, and the reason why we actually got into it, is to provide that competition.
Mhm.
Because there's a difference between, oh, I think there's a big difference. Like, you go to the park or the field and you throw, you get yourself on Instagram throwing all these passes, versus like actually going against somebody live, where there's going to be a winner and the loser, right? It's
Mhm.
different when you're actually competing. That's cool. I didn't know that. Well, as a strength and conditioning coach, who owns your own business and gym, uh, the majority of high schools out there do not have a strength and conditioning coach, mainly, the public school.
Mhm.
How, man, what do you think about that? And how do you think things should change to where like high schools are investing in having an actual individual or individuals as a strength and conditioning coach?
I think it's really important. Like it's actually getting more important now because from what I've seen like over the past couple of years is like there's sometimes there's no strength and conditioning coach, and then there's also and then on the other side of that there's only maybe one athletic trainer, maybe two,
Yeah.
to cover this span of sports. And when all that happens, strength conditioning is not like what just everyone thinks it is. It's not just like, oh, you're just there to get big. Like this is where you prevent all the injuries. This is how all the kids stay healthy throughout the season so that you don't have to go to the athletic trainer on a daily basis because you shouldn't have to. If your body's been taken care of, like, these like there's more kids like suffering like season ending injuries nowadays that can
Yeah.
really, really be avoided. Thankfully, like, like one of the big things that like most injuries are is because they're collisions or they're accidents, you know yet you still got to also put out there like, there are those ones that get hurt because their body isn't in shape to like take on those collisions or aren't ready to react to any kind of accidental event. So I mean, at that point, that's why like I think it is a lot more important to do that. That's why the private schools, they still have injuries. You can't avoid them. It's just that their rate is a lot lower. That's just kind of what I've seen. Um, and then in the public school, unfortunately, like, there's a lot of kids that like they get injured early or they get injured often. Like, and that's
Yeah.
why strength conditioning is so important. And it's like, why do the schools even have a weight room? Like, if you're not even going to use it, what's the point of that? And then the pecking order of like what sports to use it for, like it's got to be equal play amongst every sport, whether it's football or it's badminton. Like badminton still needs it. Like you got to find some kind of balance between all of it. And I think that's something most people, like most schools, should start investing in. Like, don't leave it up to a PE class. Like, and don't mix in your kids with like a PE class. Like, make a class for your sports kids. Like, they are obviously trying
Oh,
to train at a higher level. Like, do that. You can. And then when they do it, like for the sports teams, like don't limit it to like 45 minutes. Like, you're not going to really accomplish anything.
yeah.
You can maybe get through a warm up and maybe one exercise, like, and that doesn't do much for you. Like, set a schedule. Like, you have to put something in, which is, granted, like I'm trying to bridge that gap for some of the kids, like, and it seems to work here and there for the
Yeah.
kids that buy into it. Now I just hope that like some schools like start to like, implement that more and know like how it's important, like, for these kids to like just not be injured.
Wow. No, that was spot on. I've always admired trainers and individuals like yourself who are out there to make a difference. And hopefully those things will become more and more, something of a regular thing at high school level. But yeah, man, thanks for doing this. It's like
Yeah,
random
absolutely.
call. Hey, you want to
That's
do a Zoom
okay.
call?
Sure. No, I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, I think we should, I would love to jump on it. Like, we can even do like a Q&A if like kids want to like pop in and ask a question on
That's a great
something.
idea. That's a great idea. I think we should definitely do that. We have the audience, so we might as well give them something cool and
Yeah.
informative. But yeah, dude, I will, we'll get this out as soon as possible so that we can promote the things that are going on with you guys and are not, for us, this is our last camp, and I appreciate you being part of it, and also Coach Romo and the rest of the coaches. So other
Yeah.
than that, man, we'll talk soon.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. See ya.